Are you in need of a relaxing distraction? I know I am. That's why I'm playing TimeGuessr, the daily challenge. Anyway, let's stop selling things and bounce on with this daily. If you've seen the last video, you'll know all about TimeGuessr. You've got to guess the location and the date, namely the year of the location. So let's see how we get on with this and see if we can do better than the score I got last time. They appear to have started using Apple Maps for now, which is a bit of a shame because I prefer Google, but this does give some interesting landmarks and things that helps a little bit with things like this. So let's have a look first. We'll go with the location here first. I think this has to be Alcatraz. I mean, it's got the sort of 2 or 3 leveled stepped hill going on there. KLX, that sounds like it's going to be an American radio station, perhaps. Even if it's not, I think I've seen enough of Alcatraz to recognize it. So that's off San Francisco. Or it's somewhere in San Francisco Bay, perhaps. There's a little island. Treasure Island. I didn't know there was a Treasure Island. Brooks Island. Loch Lomond. Loch Lomond. It's not in the sea, I know that much. San Francisco, I'm pretty sure it is here. I just need to spend a bit more time looking closely. Sorry for the clearing of the throat. I don't know quite why that's so bad today. Maybe there's a frog in it. We'll get rid of it soon. Alameda Island. Alameda. Tony Alameda Island. Cesar Chavez Park. Tiberian. Angel Island. Is Alcatraz on Angel Island? I can't imagine it is. San Francisco Bay. This isn't an island, is it? No, that's a totally different place. The San Francisco is here. Ah, there it is. It's very small. I've probably scrolled past it several times there. So let's have a look at this photo, which I've realised you can actually scroll and pan round in, which is helpful. We'll do a little bit of the old GeoGuessr Where's the Sun trick. So where's everyone's shadows falling? They're all kind of... So the sun's behind us here, isn't it? Because we've got this nicely lit. So with the sun being behind us, it's likely to be anywhere between the east, south and west. So east, south, west. And we look like we're going along the long side of the island. So I'd imagine the sun is pretty much down here. It's probably about 11 in the morning. And we're looking up at Alcatraz Island. And there's the lighthouse there. So where are we? We're quite close. I'd say we're alongside it, possibly a little bit... We're just... parallel with the island, and I'd say we're about there. That's my guess. I can't see any reason not to go with that. I can't see any more information on the buildings there, so we'll have to stick with where we are. That might be a bit too far out. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'll go a bit further in, because it looks like we are a bit close. Let's go there. And let's not worry about it too much. So it's already built. I can't remember how old Alcatraz is. Can we get any information from around here? I doubt it. Right, let's think. Alcatraz. It strikes me as something that would have been built post-war. Don't know why. I just think it might have been. Let's have a look. This guy's got a... Is that a camera he's holding? Is that a camera he's holding? The dress of the day. People are still wearing hats, which makes me think it could still be sort of... these hats. Maybe we're looking late 40s here, perhaps? Is it on the grand unveiling of Alcatraz? Perhaps it is. So we're looking fairly early. I mean, maybe it's not post-war. Maybe it's during the war. Or thereabouts. I'm going to struggle to know about this. Something's making me think 30s, but... I feel it's later than that, so I'm going to go with 1945, possibly. And that's the year the war ended. Perhaps that's why why they're all going to see it. You know, we'll pop it up a couple of years later. We'll go to 1948. That's going to be my guess. A little risky because something does make me think we're a bit earlier, but I don't know. Some of this stuff just looks a bit too modern for that. It could even be later. It could be 60s. Very hard to tell. Tricky one. Oh, do you know, I'm actually popping it up to 1950. Am I popping it up to 1950? I think I am. Let's go. Oh, look at that, 1946. Oh, what a pain. Right, so we were pretty much dead on location-wise. I'm surprised we're that far along. Maybe we're looking more towards the island itself than I was expecting, but location's correct. Aftermath from the Battle of Alcatraz, where Marines fought the island after 2 prisoners took over. Wow. Hence all of the smoke, I guess. All right, well, we were 4 years off. I shouldn't have pushed it so far, but still, 9,298 is great for a first round. What's up next? Wow. Okay. There's a lot to take in here. This is some sort of parade, and I can see on this guy's hat here, it is St. Patrick's Day. Sadly, we can only see 17th of March. Now, one thing that I'm noticing immediately, other than the fact we're clearly in, I think in Dublin here, because that looks like it might be the Irish word for police, and that looks like a very similar outfit to the police uniforms you get in the UK. So let's have a look at these cameras. Coolpix L820. There's a Nikon Coolpix that are out and about. So that's a relatively modern camera. People have got some relatively modern cameras here, but crucially, they've also got some phones. Now these phones look a little bit bulkier and thicker and heavier than they perhaps do today. So I'm going to say this is probably in the mid-2010s. What's the significance of this? We've not talked about the diver in the diving bell yet. Should we? Like, is it relevant at all? Probably not. It's all part of the parade. Can't really see the person inside. Oh. Is that their ear, or is that just like an opening in their face? Is this some sort of scary monster? Or are we going to be suddenly playing Subnautica and I'm going to get a huge jump scare? So I think in terms of the location, I think we're probably going to be in Dublin here, because that doesn't say police, and since it's a Patrick's Day festival, and because it's being so well attended, it's got to be in Ireland. I'm going to say Dublin. We'll find a little street in Dublin. But year-wise, that's what I sort of want to get first. We've got another phone down here. Now that's relatively thin. Maybe we are a bit airbag. Maybe we are a little bit later than I expected. Because, I mean, looking at it, it doesn't look far off, and maybe just the people with the cameras. The cameras made me think we were earlier than we were, just because who has cameras these days? But if they're really into it and at the front line, maybe they want to take some proper pictures. And maybe, maybe this photo was taken with a picture from a camera, like the ones these guys have. So, let's go then. I think we're going to guess, what was I saying? I was saying mid-2010s, wasn't I? 2015. That doesn't feel bad. I might push that 3 years later again to 2018, having not learned my lesson. It's clearly before COVID because no one's wearing a mask, everything's up and running. So that's actually quite useful information. 2018 would be the last year we could do that. I'm going to push it back again to 17. How do people look? Everyone looks regular. It's really difficult to say. Power shot. I don't know. I am actually going to push this back a little further. 2014. And we're going to stick there. Now, jump into Dublin, because I think it's Dublin. It looks like Dublin, and all of the other evidence seems to add up. Now, I've been to Dublin, as I said in my previous video, and I wonder if we're somewhere really central here, because we've got an interesting street that moves along this way and then like curves down a little bit this way, and it's got a huge junction off there too, which is why I was thinking of somewhere like this. It's going along like this, there's a junction off up there, and then it curves down and along. But the barber's room, the mint bar at the Westin, I don't know if that's what all that stuff is. What about this? Garda station? That's what, but that probably says Garda. Brilliant. Police station. Pierce Street, Garda station. Looks like pubs there, so it doesn't look to be quite correct. Maybe that's a bit further along and we're actually here. To be honest though, I think it's going to be a fairly central parade. This is about as central as you can get. I don't want to spend all day trying to find exactly the right street. Ooh, however, what's this? No, there's no pubs and things sort of round here. It's definitely a bit of a bigger road than that. So I think we're gonna, wish it would remember the size of my map. I think we'll go with that. We're close enough. Oh, 2014 got it spot on. And we were 446 meters from the correct location. This is a good start for the time. I don't know why I said for the time, not really thinking. As I say, I'm in need of a distraction. St. Patrick's Parade 2014 in Dublin. So nothing much more to say about that. Still no information about the diving bell. Anyone know why this guy's or girl is standing here wearing this? Like what significance that has? Looks like they might all be sort of sea-based, all these guys, because they're all blues and greens with perhaps like dragons and things and sea monsters. Who knows? Very cool. Really like it. Happy. Let's move on. Oh dear, this is where I'm going to start to struggle. Oh wow, they're wearing skis. I'm really going to struggle. Okay, first things first, I see that, I think Greece. But if they're wearing skis, and that's actually snow and not like ash, then I don't know what that is. Some strange artifact on the photo itself up there, but I don't think that's going to give us anything. It looks like C0180 or 0188. Neither of those makes any sense in terms of the times that we're going to be able to go with. The skis are probably my best bet because they are skis that I have seen whenever I've gone skiing in the Alps. I've seen skis like that beautifully and proudly displayed in lodges and restaurants and bars and things on the mountains. These wooden old things that look like they'd snap your ankle off in a heartbeat as soon as you fall over. But they're gorgeous nonetheless, and these poles are very old as well. So we're looking very, very old, if you hadn't guessed that. I mean, didn't need to look at the skis to tell you that. What's this rifle going to look like? Can't tell very much from that either. It's a very, very small photo. Sorry for the like the massive empty gap here. But I cannot control where these things go. So, I would say we're in Europe, just based on the architecture. And based on these guys, I would say we're probably First World War. These are clearly soldiers. And I'd say we're somewhere relatively far north because it's snowing. My first guess is we're going to be in Moscow, right? This could be Moscow, I think, looking at that. I know it's quite fun. They get snow in Moscow, I think, because it's quite cold. Could be St. Petersburg. Ooh, could be St. Petersburg. That would have a little bit more of this kind of slightly Western influence on it as well, I'd have thought. And I know that was, I think that was a big area for the First World War. I think. Oh yeah, it is snow. Look, you can see it on the statues. Little tootsies. He needs to dress warm. So if we're thinking it's the First World War, which I think we are, because I've got no better option, we're looking, what was it, 1914 to 1918, I think, First World War. If they're skiing, I mean, it could be any year. I think what we'll go is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 16 is the exact midway point. So, I don't know. Drinking coffee, by the way. It's Löfberg's coffee. It's the one I tend to get. It's a lovely bean. It's, I won't describe the taste profile because I don't know anything about coffee, but it's from Brazil and it's imported by Swedish people and then sold here. So there you go. Oh, maybe they roast it as well. I don't know. But yeah, Brazil to Sweden to my tummy. That's an interesting route. I think we'll go with 1916 in St. Petersburg. Let's make sure we're not just in the middle of a river or something. Oh, I mean, we're there. Could this be sort of like town hall or something? It's going to be very different from how it used to be, and I don't think we need to get too into this. Yeah, this is central enough, isn't it? Emperor Alexander, 1st Street. Let's just go here. Right outside the Terrassa, near the Cathedral. Good. Oh, Russian Admiralty. There you go. That might be where we are. Let's plonk ourselves here. And see how we go. This is a tough one. Oh! Okay, first thing I saw was the year. I felt pretty gutted, if I'm honest, when I saw the year. I was like, damn it, got the wrong date. I thought they were old. I thought this was older. Like, that looks like an ancient photo. So I was 27 years off. I get 0 points for the year. That is crushing. Absolutely crushing. But look at where I am. I'm about as far away as the Dublin one. So that's superb. I'm really, really happy about that. How could I have done this better? The Russians were involved in World War I, weren't they? I need to learn a bit more about World War I. I've got a lovely history book about Europe, and I need to read it. But just to refresh my memory on what happened in these places. But 43, okay, 27 years off. Never mind, not much to be said about that. Let's move on. Soviet ski troops advancing the front line. Wow. Okay, oh yeah, Leningrad, that's what it was called, St. Petersburg. Interesting. Now, which dictator is this that I don't recognise? Is that Saddam Hussein? That could be Saddam Hussein. Right, okay, what are we going to do with this? These look like... oh, wow, I don't know what to make of this. So we've got troops, right? We've got troops. Ah, and the bloody website has changed. I'm so sorry, I'm in the way. Let's move me down. Go for a little ride. Ah, I'm falling! I'm falling! And it's going to take forever. But yeah, for some reason, the round and score are now put up there. I'm not quite sure why, but now you can see it ongoing. I wouldn't edit that out. And I've held down the down arrow too long, so I'm going to carry on going. I'll keep talking while it happens. But yeah, so it looks like possibly, let's say, American troops there. I'm still falling. This is ridiculous. Day in the life of Storpy. Right, let's go back up. And I can see a mosque in the background. So we're in a Middle Eastern country. I say Middle Eastern country. Now, this is where my knowledge of stuff gets really, really, really horribly ropey. So, Saddam Hussein. If it's Saddam Hussein, why am I thinking of Saddam Hussein? Where was Saddam Hussein? Which country was he in? I'm starting to think of things. So I read something recently about a despot. Is that what they're called? Despots? A dictator that was deposed. And it surprised me that they were in like Libya or Tunisia or somewhere like that. There was like, an Arabic North African country. And I remember thinking, what the hell? I thought I didn't know they were there. I didn't know they were in Africa. So I don't know quite what to do about that. I don't think it was Saddam Hussein. It was the other one. It was the other one. The other horrible dictator that was over there. Oh, Gaddafi. Colonel Gaddafi. Right. Okay. This isn't Gaddafi. Good. So we're onto that. Maybe I got some of that wrong, but yeah. So that was Gaddafi. I've finally worked that out. Thank you for sitting with me through my falling on the screen and also through my thought process. Let's get on with this, Steve. You promised a shorter video. Saddam Hussein. That was in my lifetime, and I think it was. What was it? Late 90s he was overthrown when the Arab Spring sort of started? Mid to late 90s? I don't know. It's a hard one. I'm going to say 1994. I have a feeling we're sort of early to mid 90s when all this happened, but it could have been late 90s. You know what? I'll go 95. Just give it the year Toy Story was released. There you go. Also, please comment what it is you're drinking as you're enjoying this lovely video. So we think he was deposed around then. Saddam Hussein. Was he deposed? Was he assassinated? Was he killed? Was he imprisoned? I can't remember what happened to Saddam Hussein. And I think when he did go, the people were very happy and they overthrew everything and they like dragged down all his statues and things. Now, this is the embarrassing thing. Where was Saddam Hussein in charge of? Rightly or wrongly? Somewhere around here. Now, was it Iraq? Saddam Hussein, Iraq. I want to go Afghanistan, but maybe it was Afghanistan. Because That was where... This again shows my crap history. It's because I grew up when I was a child. I wasn't interested in any of this. And now I'm an adult. I need to go back over it all and understand the ins and outs of what happened and why. So my understanding is that in this scenario that I'm talking about is Saddam Hussein was overthrown in Afghanistan. Then there was a power vacuum, and then different factions like the Taliban, etc., rose up and started to take power in Afghanistan. But was that actually after 9/11 and the war? But then that was the war in Iraq. This is it. I'm really showing myself up here. I think what we'll do is we'll go in a place, Ghazni. I've heard of Ghazni. We'll go in a place in Afghanistan and hope for the best there. I might be a bit far east. It might be better if I went further west so it can, gamingly, I want to just go in the middle of Iran, so I've got Afghanistan and Iraq either side. Saddam Hussein, that could have been Iraq, I'm going to go with Basra. We're in Basra, and we've overthrown Saddam Hussein, who definitely was the dictator in Iraq, and that means we're vaguely close to Afghanistan. It was nothing to do with Iran, I don't think. But let's go. This could be embarrassing. Okay. Right, so this isn't that bad. Where's this? Is this the capital, Baghdad? Yeah, it is. Right, so statue of Saddam Hussein, got that right, being toppled in Firdos Square after the US invasion of Iraq. So he wasn't deposed before the war. That's what happened after 9/11. So there you go. Right, that's my logic in my head now being corrected. Really glad I went for Iraq. Something about Afghanistan didn't sound right, and I don't know why. So there we are. We were in the capital. Should have gone for that. Oh my God, excuse me. In Baghdad. But overall, considering my severe and embarrassing lack of knowledge there, I've done quite well using the knowledge that I do have. So we'll remember that in future. Yeah, Saddam Hussein. Let's go for the final round. Oh my goodness. Well, that looks like St Paul's Cathedral. And it looks like the Great Fire of London. So can we go back to 1666 or whenever it was? Was it 1666? I think it was. It's not St Paul's Cathedral because it has two strange things here that I don't recognise. So where else could this be? It's not Notre Dame because that doesn't have a dome. It could be Montmartre. Sacré-Cœur in Montmartre in Paris, but I don't think it is because that's on top of a hill and it's not surrounded by all this. So it's not that. I reckon that could be St. Paul's Basilica in Rome. Because that looks about right. So, first off, we're going to go plonk it down in Rome, but we'll have a bit of a think. And that's in here. There you go, St. Peter's Basilica. And helpfully, thank you Apple Maps, we can actually see we've got the dome in the middle, and then we've got the two little towers either side. Can't see much more than that. And then we've got an arched bit in the middle with the triangle. I think we're there. So we're looking at it. I have been here, and you come in from... Where'd you come in from? You come in from over here, I think. So, yeah, Piazza di San Pietro. So we're looking... I think we're probably about here, like in some houses looking over at all this, and it's quite zoomed in. And then maybe off to the right slightly as well. So I think we're about there. If this is the right place. Basilica di San Pietro. What year? Now, I don't ever remember hearing about a fire or a disaster or riots or uprising or anything in Italy or in the Vatican at this place. Let's think. Christianity. Have there been any troubles since 1900? Yes. Have there been any bad enough to make enormous fires? Possibly. Oh, look, there's a little spire here, which would suggest we've got a mini church. A little mini church. Kind of where? Around here? As we're looking. Can we see a mini church? Vatican Post Office. Can we we could be a bit further back again, you know. Chiesa di Sant'Anna. Chiesa. All right, we're going to go up. Yeah, we'll go here. I'm going to stop messing around here because we need to get on with it. But I think, yeah, just moving that might make a difference if we're in the right place. And the sun's right. Look, sun's hitting from that side, which suggests it's in the south, which is great for the northern hemisphere. The sun would roughly be there, so at least it's not hitting from the north. That does add up a bit. Now let's think. The picture looks very old. It looks like it's at exactly 11 o'clock as well. Or maybe it's 22:11. But it looks very, very old. I'd say we're probably looking like 20s perhaps. Maybe earlier. Maybe it was bombed in World War I. Maybe it was bombed in World War II. There's a jet of water there. Looks to be putting something out. Very little to go by here. I think we're going to be going for one of the wars. Now, was Rome bombed during World War II? Did Italy get involved much in World War II? Or was it World War I? When was Mussolini around and what did he do? This is why I need to learn a bit more about Europe and why I've got my book. A Short History of Europe by Simon Jenkins, which will just give me an overview, and then there's another one I want to look at that's a bit bigger and thicker and more detailed, but it's tough, this. I'm going to go with, based on earlier when I went for a First World War I and it was actually World War II, I think we're going to go World War II here, and it was all bombed in World War II, probably early to mid, so I'm going to go 1941. That's going to be my guess. We're in there. We got bombed then. 1941. Please be right. Oh my goodness! Right, okay. So I was 1 year off. We got the year right. That's something. But it was St. Paul's Cathedral. Do you know, I do not remember those two things being there. Ah, yes I do. We're looking at it. You see, I normally look at it because I used to work in London and I used to work looking at it from the south, which is over there, I believe. It'd be interesting to see where this photo was taken. Yeah, we're looking from the west. So I would normally see it from down there. Actually, that would be that side. So I'd normally see it from down there where you don't have these in the way. And it's just the dome. So I never remember that these exist. But we were over there. Look, and you can see the McDonald's just down there. Should be a church. Yeah, St. Martin Churchyard. That could be that. Anyhow, that's a real shame that I got that wrong, because I immediately, didn't I, said St. Paul's Cathedral. No, can't be because of the towers. So the location actually wasn't as bad as it could have been. Luckily enough, that's insane how close many points I got for that, considering I got it completely wrong. And yeah, Italy apparently was, well, they might have been in World War II. Anyway, lots of thoughts going on in my head at the moment. Let's take the 7,700. St. Paul's Cathedral undamaged during the Great Fire Raid in London. So it was the World War II, and it was my St. Paul's. So, check that final score. Today, which is the 20th of April, 2023, I want you to have a go, because I'm going to upload this as soon as it's done, and then you guys can have a go and see what you get. My score was 38,564. Not amazing, but better, I think, than my last score. Had a lot of fun. That's the main point. And please play along. Today's daily, hopefully you'll get the same ones. I know there's a bit of a funny thing with time zones, and I know it changes throughout the day. So hopefully you'll get the same seed as me. If you don't, play it and enjoy yourself anyway, and let me know how you did. But if you get this one, let me know how you did. Should have told you to play along at the start, really, because now you can get 50,000 points. Anyway, thank you for watching another TimeGuessr. Let me know if you want me to do more of these, because I love this game. I play this every day now. And love and peace. I'll see you all on the next one. That's that button. Smash!